What's up, guys? Fan 101 here, and gonna be recording at least 3 videos today. Whether or not they will be up sooner than later, I don't know. I do not know. Hopefully sooner rather than later. By the latest, probably Tuesday, because that's when I'll have the real time to do it. I don't know about tonight or tomorrow, but let's get this out of the way. So, sorry for that. Got something stuck in my throat. This is my TNA Impact review. This is the Impact for Bound for Glory. Bound for Glory is literally happening as we speak. However, I can't exactly live stream it because I don't have a reliable source. I'm gonna have to wait till the links pop up on the wrestling website that I go to so I can watch it. So I don't know what's happening at Bound for Glory at the moment. Although I can give a couple updates to immediately before then. We started off TNA Impact, and by the way, the whole shit that happened between Dixie Carter, Billy Corgan paid off the finances for not only Bound for Glory tonight, but for tapings going up until December. And Billy Corgan is also in the lead to try to buy TNA, which he should, because he has a direct vision for the. Unlike Dixie Carter, she needs to give it up. Billy Corgan needs a direct vision for TNA, and Corgan has that. Carter is just in the way. So, anyways, we started off TNA with Impact last week or this week, depending on how you look at it. Probably last week, with a very good opening promo segment between EC3 and Bobby Lashley. EC3, Bobby Lashley discussing their match at Bound for Glory. I'm gonna be skimming through the review, because I just want to get to my WCPW reviews. I've been missed 2 weeks in a row, so I'm gonna review both weeks, yesterday and last week's review. So let's get to that as soon as we can. So they had a very, very good opening segment. It was solid. It sets up more of their TNA pay-per-view match better. They discussed how EC3 may have beaten several guys, but Lashley can puts guys out of commission, including Kurt Angle, which in the storyline, which built Lashley back up as a heel. And they also announced their participants in the Lethal Lockdown match. From what I hear, this segment right here was edited, so there's that. So it does explain why they seem to skim through it so fast, is because it was edited. They actually went more into detail. The Team EC3 was, of course, Captain EC3, Aaron Rex, Moose, and Gail Kim, because apparently they had the women to the match. For Lashley, his team was Drew Galloway, Mike Bennett, and Maria. A very, very, very predictable teams, but it does make sense. And all 6 of them are pretty good wrestlers, so that always makes sense. But I was expecting like an Eddie Edwards. I was expecting an X Division guy. I guess I was hoping for too much. Speaking of the X Division, that match that Eddie Edwards I thought was gonna have with DJ Z at Bound for Glory ended up being an Impact, and they only got like 5.5 minutes. It was a good match. It was a nice, solid match, but it only went 5.5 minutes. So that I don't know. I guess I can't take it when matches that should be important are only 5.5 minutes long. Eating a brownie with frosting, delicious. So DJZ beat Eddie Edwards clean. So good for DJZ, but not good for Eddie Edwards, who should be the champion by a bit. Like, I love DJZ, but Eddie Edwards should have been the X Division champion. As soon as I can, I would make an X Division title match between Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards. That would be kick ass, and you know that. After the match was over, Trevor Lee and Andrew Everett, members of the Helms dynasty, which I don't even think Gregory Helms is making any more TNA appearances, so a whole lot of good that did. Helms and Edwards, Everett and Lee attacked both of them. They had fought back. Apparently, this led up to, or this might be leading up to a fatal four-way match between DJZ, Eddie Edwards, Andrew Everett, and Trevor Lee for the X Division title. Look, it wouldn't be a bad idea if it wasn't for one thing. We saw the same fucking match at Slammiversary. The defending champion was Trevor Lee against who? DJZ, Andrew Everett, and the person who ended up winning the match, Eddie Edwards. So, yeah, I don't see DJZ losing the title Bound for Glory tonight. But if he does, and if Eddie Edwards is the champion, it's like, what the fuck was the point? I'm not saying it's a bad idea and I'm not going to enjoy it. I am going to enjoy it, but they got to give the X Division more focus. They only really have 5 guys right now. 6 if you include Tigre Uno, who hasn't been on TNA and TV in months. They got DJZ, Andrew Everett, Trevor Lee, Mandrews, and Eddie Edwards. Not including Tigre Uno and Davey Richards, who's out of commission. Eddie and Uno, who I don't know where the hell he's at. In the backstage, we saw Maria and Allie. Of course, Maria is yet again talking shit down to Allie. She introduced Laurel Van Ness, whose match I will come up with next, and said that Laurel is not a failure. After that, we had a sit-down backstage segment between Moose and Mike Bennett. I thought they had a pretty decent backstage segment going on how Mike Bennett brought Moose into the company. Because Mike Bennett and Moose worked together in Ring of Honor, so that actually makes sense. They didn't mention Ring of Honor by name, but they did say they knew each other for a while before TNA, and before they went to TNA. And Bennett was the one who brought Moose in, and he says that Moose betrayed him. And Moose is just like, look, shut the hell up. I'm all about me, and I'm gonna beat your ass Bound for Glory. Very cut straight to the point. Speaking of Laurel Van Ness a minute ago, she beat Madison Rayne in a match right after this one. Laurel Van Ness, I actually thought looked pretty good. Madison Rayne, though, she's a decent wrestler, but she showed nothing in this match. She's empty. Honestly, if this is how Madison Rayne is going to wrestle in TNA, you might as well just fire her. Because she may be decent in the ring, but Madison Rayne, she's just not showing any fire at all. I can understand she's been in TNA for God knows how many years, but she's not showing any fire. She just doesn't care. Plus, she was part of the Beautiful People, and every wrestler who was in the Beautiful People sucked. Angelina Love sucked. Velvet Sky sucked. As hot as she was, Lacey Von Erich sucked. As hot as they are, they sucked as wrestlers. They're shit. They're shit wrestlers. But thankfully Laurel Van Ness won, and of course Ali accidentally said as the winner Laurel Van Ness. It's really Laurel and then Van and then Ness. So yeah, weird name, but whatever. Drew Galloway and Aaron Rex had a segment a very good segment, more so on Drew Galloway than Aaron Rex, which is weird because Damian Sandow, Aaron Stevens, Aaron Rex, whatever you want to call him, was always great on the mic. Always. If there's anything he was good at, it was mic work. And Drew Galloway completely outclassed him. Aaron Rex wasn't bad in this segment, and on the contrary, he was actually pretty good. But Drew Galloway showed a certain fire. Drew Galloway has a certain passion that isn't matched by most of the people. He was awesome in this segment. He ruled this segment. I know I'm kind of skimming over details, guys, but keep in mind, I'm just trying to. It's been a few days since I watched it. I'm just trying to get through all this stuff. I'm just giving my own personal opinion. But the segment was very good. Drew Galloway showed a lot of fire. Aaron Rex was good, but Galloway's outclassed me due to the passion that you heard After that, Galloway grabbed the Grand Championship. Aaron Rex grabbed the title, and then they started fighting. It really sucks because this match isn't happening at Bound for Glory. I'll get to that after the review's over. Next, we had the Decay backstage, had another promo, and then we had a great video package for the Great War. The Great War being the tag team match between Matt and Jeff Hardy, the Broken Hardys, and Decay, happening at Bound for Glory tonight. Probably, as of recording this, it hasn't happened yet. It's probably going to be like the semi-main event or something like that. Maybe not, because we don't want the death spot of the night or something like that. Speaking of the feud between the Broken Hardys and Decay, Broken Reby Hardy faced Rosemary in a match. This match did nothing. Well, the match itself did nothing. The match itself was not good at all. But it wasn't about the match. It was about the fire and intensity showed behind Rosemary and Reby. Reby beat Rosemary by DQ, I believe. And then all the Broken Hardys and Decay started to brawl against each other. And after we came back before we went to break, we briefly went to a coin toss to see who would be the leading man advantage in Lethal Lockdown. Ended up being Lashley's team. It usually is the heel team that gets it first. Then when we cut back to from commercial, we're back to the brawl between Decay and the Broken Hardys. Reby and Rosemary out of the picture. It's just the Hardy Boys and Abyss and Crazy Steve backstage. They're brawling. They're using a bunch of shit against each other. This was a segment or vignette, whatever you want to call it, very similar to the Final Deletion stuff. The way that stuff is shot and edited, it's very similar to that. So, that made it a lot more fun. If it was just a normal brawl, it would have been good, but if it wasn't shot Final Deletion style, being shot Final Deletion style, it was great. Then we saw Maria and Gail Kim in the same sit-down interview segment style that Moose and Bennett were at earlier. Only problem is, I don't care for Maria and Gail Kim's feud. I really hope that they're Bound for Glory this is going to be over soon. I'm expecting like a rematch, so I'll expect that to happen, but hopefully after Bound for Glory, this all ends. I want it to end. I need it to end. This is doing nothing for me whatsoever. The Gail Kim just basically talked about how Maria's like a bully. She's not the first lady of the professional wrestling. I thought she was gonna say she's the first bitch of professional wrestling, but that name goes to Fabulous Moolah. For many reasons. Maria and Kim, it's not that I didn't like the feud at first. Coming up to Slammiversary, I actually liked the feud. But then the feud kept on going on, and on, and on, and on. It's not like with Lucha Underground where they postponed the feud to go into another one, like they did with Ivelisse and Katrina. That made sense. So when I went back to it, it's like, okay, Katrina screwed Ivelisse again, and now Ivelisse is like you bitch. But, yeah, this feud has done nothing for me. My only hope is that Gail Kim wins the title, so that way the championship can actually mean something again. Because Maria hasn't fought a single match for the title on the line, so I don't know if that was going to happen, actually. The main event was Team Lashley and Team EC3 in a Lethal Lockdown match. This was actually a pretty good match, I have to say. This was a fun match. We eventually did get Gail Kim and Maria in the ring, only to leave the ring, so, because Maria is afraid of Gail Kim, so she keeps running away from her. Little bitch. Pussy up and fight. Oh yeah, woman up and fight, like, I don't know. So we only got EC3, Galloway, Lashley, Rex, and Bennett in the ring. We only got 6 people in the ring. So, and that actually worked to his advantage, because the women would have added nothing. All it would have done was slow the match down. So, just the 6 people in the ring, it actually kind of made sense, and it was a lot of fun. It was a little bit of fun to watch. EC3 won. I mean, won. He lost. He lost by tap out to Lashley after he put his submission hold on him. I think it's like a variation of Kimura lock. And Lashley chose the stipulation for his match with EC3 at Bound for Glory, which ended up being a no hold barred match. That match has to be a lot of fun. It cannot not be a lot of fun. It has to be fun. A couple of quick updates before I end this video. Drew Galloway suffered a recent injury backstage. It wasn't a serious injury, but it was serious enough that he couldn't compete about. He only suffered it last week, so he had to bow out of the Bound for Glory match. So instead, it's going to be Aaron Rex versus Eddie Edwards, who lost to. Actually, it kind of makes sense actually, because what are they going to do? Put freaking Jesse Goddard in there or Eli Drake? No, they're going to put Eddie Edwards in there. The only reason, and it makes sense because Drew Galloway and Eddie Edwards, Galloway didn't pin Edwards. He won by a split decision after Galloway won round 1, Edwards won round 2, and Galloway by the slimmest of margins won round 3. So Galloway, Edwards replacing Galloway, I can actually understand that, and it sets up for an eventual Drew Galloway Eddie Edwards feud, which it should, because it's very good. That's a feud I would totally see. Think of the match they would have. That would be some awesome kick-ass matches, and it would give Eddie Edwards a good run. So with that said, guys, I don't know if I have any other real updates for you. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Have fun with Bound for Glory. I'll be up with my WCPW review soon. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later.